Welcome back to the Acoustic Shop channel, your source for all things acoustic. Today we are back and we're going to be giving you a review of a very cool guitar. This is custom. This is a custom built Thompson Mad Addy. Very proud to show it to you. In this video, we're going to talk about all the cool features that have been put into this guitar, what it's all about building a custom guitar from Thompson, as well as what it sounds like and all those special specs that you want to know about. We're going to do all of that.
You're going to get a chance to hear it too. That's going to be awesome.
We can do that too. If you want to hear it, I guess.
Darling, I'm saying I know something's wrong.
This is another fantastic guitar. Actually, I was just playing this, and it's been actually with the owner for a little bit of time. And
we made him bring it back to us when we do a review. And if you guys like this sort of stuff and you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel because we do things like this all the time these days. Have a lot of fun. They can either be custom builds like this one or new models that are released by some of our favorite manufacturers. And we just love playing with them, talking about them, and then letting you guys hear them so that you get a better idea of what they sound like.
Boy, can we talk about them. We talk about them so much that some of you don't even want to hear us talk about it.
If you like a channel that does not talk about them, this is not the one for you. But if you do like us talking about them, or if you just kind of like these guitars, you can fast forward our talking. But this is really cool, and this is a custom project by a customer we've had for a while that decided, I'm going to do it. I've wanted a custom guitar for a while, and part of the content and us talking about Preston Thompson made him pull the trigger, and then you guys worked intimately on this project.
We did. We went through and talked about all the things that he was wanting to do.
You scrapped all that and said, these things I want.
This is what I think you should do. No, it was a little different than that. We actually had a couple of guitars that were similar to this. He played one of them. We did a custom shop D Mad Addy in here, I don't know, it was about a year and a half ago, and he's like, you know what?
And for people not unfamiliar with the code word, the lingo you're talking about, D-Mad, Dreadnought, Madagascar, Rosewood, Adirondack Spruce Top.
You're right.
A lot of abbreviated mashed up. Just like the military here where you're talking all these.
I don't know. I don't make these things up. These companies do.
That was FUBAR.
I just try to... I just tried to stick with it.
I'm not sure what that means.
Anyway,
I think I know what that means.
We did a couple of things that I just absolutely love. He asked me questions about choosing some woods and just kind of finding the sound and the thing that he wanted to do. And he's kind of building his kind of ultimate heirloom guitar, something that he's going to pass on to family and kind of see continue on afterwards. So that's what we kind of worked our way through. So this is a custom shop D Mad Addy with Madagascar sides and back, and an incredible sides of back and sides. We actually looked through about four. Ron actually flew up to the factory up there in Sisters, Oregon, and he looked at some stuff, and then he sent me pictures of ones that he liked and said, hey, John, help me decide which one we wanted. We chose this particular back and sides. I thought this would be the best choice and kind of worked our way through it. And it's a spectacular set.
Yes,
it really is absolutely beautiful. Then we talked about things that he wanted to do. He wanted to kind of boost it up to a 41, 42 style with the abalone on the outside of this. So this does have the abalone around the outside of the top as well as on the rosette. And then we just kind of played with it with sunbursts and things I liked. And I said, what do you think of this? And he goes, no. And I said, all right, then how about we try this? And he said, yes. And that's how we kind of went through this. It was a pretty
back and forth.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. So
and then he came up with his own kind of custom design he wanted for the dragon inlay.
Exactly. This is actually something he was telling us his son has a sailboat by the name of the Moon Dragon. So he wanted to kind of pay homage to that and came up with this design up here and then kind of brought in the moons into this too, which is really cool. If you guys are ever looking for a guitar that you want to do custom, Thompson's doing really cool inlays right now with designs and stuff. If you give him ideas, Simon, who's down there, is just coming up with some really, really cool things that he's able to do. So, and honestly, almost every one of our upper end boutique manufacturers has somebody that's able to do that. You kind of give them some ideas, show them some drawings, and they can go crazy with it. Or they can not go crazy, I guess, depending on what you
Whatever
want.
design you send them. Yeah. You're in control of the craziness.
So this guitar is based off of, like we said, the D Mad Addy. With this, you're going to be talking, now again, price-wise, this is not going to be a super cheap one.
Very
I think this
customized.
one came in somewhere around the 12 mark with all the extras and things that we ended up doing, 11, 12, somewhere in there. Of course, it is a dreadnought body style. The tone woods are a Adirondack spruce top, done with a Madagascar sides and back. The neck is a mahogany neck with a Madagascar overlay on this particular one. We put that on the head plate. Body binding, you're going to have the Ivoroid body binding, except on this one we're going to have the abalone purfling on the top and also around the rosette. That's going to give you an ebony fretboard as well as an ebony bridge, and of course their adjustable truss rod, bone nut, and saddle on that particular one. Tuners on this one, we went back and forth, and again with the tuner changeovers, we keep seeing these kind of change around, but this one does have the Schaller Grand tunes on this, which are great tuners, and definitely there's like 3 options right now. All of them have been on and off.
Consistency's been questionable.
But when you get good sets and they are working correctly, all of those are actually incredible sets of tuners. So definitely something I wouldn't worry about too much. It is a pre-war style braced guitar, X-braced guitar. So hand voiced and hand scalloped. We were talking with Gareth up there at the factory. He's the one that's been doing most of the voicing for those. And he claims that he does the Acoustic Shoppe one special. That's what he told us. Didn't he say
all
that?
the rest of them are just kind of dead, but you know, if you get them from us.
Anyway. The finish on this one, this is where we kind of had some fun with this. A while back, there was a guitar that Billy Strings had built by Thompson called The Bride of Frankenstein. And it was like this sepia, they called it a sepia burst, but it was a special, really dark one. They weren't going to do that same one on this guitar, but they did release the sepia, which we had the very first one of about 1.5 years ago. I loved that.
Yeah, it's such a cool color.
Sunburst finish. So we had them do that again on this one. This was a sepia burst with their nitrocellulose lacquer finish on this particular one. Neck finish is going to be their rubbed satin finish, which is very comfortable. And that neck shape is also kind of really interesting because it is their Thompson neck shape. So it's really, really nice. This does have the vintage case on it. Neck profile, like I said, is a slight modified, what they call a modified V. Does give us a nut width of 1 3/4 with a full length scale on this particular one. No extras on this one as far as pickups or anything. We did end up installing a pickup for Ron immediately after this, but it did not come with one factory. So another thing that I love about this guitar that we ended up doing custom is the purfling. I love the Thompsons. There's other companies doing this as well, but I really love this in the Thompson, is this thin white purfling that goes all the way through the headstock and down. It dresses it up, making it almost look bound, but just lighter.
Very delicately.
Yeah, and I really love that look. So just an overall beautiful guitar.
It's a spectacular example of what you can do with a custom build, and that's the cool thing about dealing with some of these really boutique builders is they are able to do that. They're like, all right, here's all the woods we have. You can pick your sets of wood. You can start to make small changes to it, and then you can go as big as really you want to. And they have the ability, since they're building these guitars one at a time, to kind of go back and forth with you and say, well, what do you think about doing this inlay pattern? Or what do you think about changing the material for the pickguard, or all these different options that you have to work direct with these guys, something you couldn't do with a mass-produced instrument.
Now this one does have, he decided to go with the same pickguard that they used on the Billy Strings one, which is a 2-ply, it's a black, white underneath with the beveled edges, so you kind of see that white kind of poking out on the sides, and that one's another custom feature that they ended up doing on this. It is so much fun to work with customers on custom guitars, and I think where I kind of do the best is, it's easy to go into guitars and kind of throw all the bells and whistles and just go crazy with a lot of stuff.
Putting kitchen sinks in them.
Yeah, it's not necessarily my style. So, I mean, not that we can't do that, obviously, but I think what's been fun is working with customers, because it seems to be the trend right now is I want something dressed up, but I don't necessarily want
something that can make it a one-of-a-kind,
exactly. But not. And I think that's been kind of fun, is kind of finding that line for each customer is like, how far do you want to go? How far do we, and are there ways to kind of delicately dress it up without, throwing abalone and pearl everywhere? I mean, we could do that. We could like cover the fretboards in pearl.
And I'm sure they could do a fine job with it too.
It would be fun, I guess. And anyway, this guitar turned out absolutely perfect. And what's fun is I've been reunited. It's been about 3 weeks since he picked it up.
He hasn't put it down much.
And he's definitely been playing it, because I'm listening to it. It just feels feels like old home, already, and it's
Opened up.
definitely opened up, and it's feeling like a very, precise style guitar that you would want to hear
It seems like
from this.
playing some fast stuff on there. It seems like really punchy and articulate.
I can't play fast today.
See how articulate that was? It's got that big strummy sound, but also very clear and precise. You can hear all of your mistakes on it.
Thank you, Jer.
Most guitars would totally master that.
It does take a little bit of getting used to. The string spacing on this is the wider string spacing, which I end up, after a short amount of time, we've discussed this multiple times, I get used to really quick, but it does take a little bit of adjustment to get used to, and I think I actually like it. When I build my guitar, Jer, it'll probably have that. Anyway, who is this for? Honestly, this is
for
a
Ron.
custom. Yeah, this is for Ron. This is
It's his custom. It's
custom
what he
guitar.
wanted.
And it can be done something along this lines for a lot of people. We took things that I knew had been popular in the past and just kind of went a little bit further with it, and I think that worked out really, really well. Like we said, as far as the sound of this guitar, not much more I can ask for. Rosewood guitars tend to get a little bit mushy, especially Indian rosewood. The Madagascar's definitely given this a little bit more articulation, a little more punch. It still has tons of low end without getting mushy. And that's what I really like. I like that. It's almost a little bit of a piano kind of
Sustained.
distinct. Exactly, that's what I'm talking about. Again, there's not much that I would gripe about with this guitar. I think it really fit what he was wanting to do. The pieces of wood and choices that they made at Thompson,
And then just their build quality, they're so precise and perfection almost. It's just beautiful instrument to hold.
Yep.
The thing about, who's a custom guitar for, like Ron said, he wanted a guitar that he could pass on for generations. He said his son already wants it, but he's going to have to wait a long time before he gets it. So that's the why would somebody get an instrument like this that's custom, is that this gets handed down to their kids and hopefully grandkids, and they'll say, this was a guitar that Grandpa designed for his personal taste and what he wanted, something that someday will be your instrument.
Yeah, and ties into some family history and some things here that, like you said, makes it a legacy type of instrument, something that they can, keep as an heirloom. And I think that's the biggest thing. We a lot of times here at the shop get a lot of grief of these more expensive instruments and why somebody would want to do this. But again, you make the car analogy a lot, talking about that, collector cars and old vintage cars and all that. It's the same world. It's just a different place to put it. And for a musician, this is every bit as important, and it really does pay off in in the time that you get spent with it. It will always be better. And I'm already impressed with this guitar. I love the look of it. There's a few things I would have, that aren't necessarily for me, but that's exactly
Why it's a
custom guitar for him. And you can't ask for too much more than that. So kudos to Thompson for working with us and building another amazing guitar.
And congratulations to Ron for getting that guitar that you've always dreamed of.
Yeah, so what we're going to do right now is kind of give you a little bit of our rating on this particular guitar. I'm going to do this based on a 1 to 5 scale, and sometimes we get away with some of these 0.75s and 5s and whatever, and we'll do that probably today too. So we're going to talk about the tone first. For me, this is everything I expected out of a Thompson Madagascar Dread. It is the sound that I'm really leaning on these days. I really love this type of tone, so honestly, I'm going to have a hard time giving it anything less than a 5.
I agree. I was waiting to see if you were going to come up with some reason that it wasn't a 5.
Setup and playability. They set up a little bit stiff for me. This is a first company that I would probably say, if I was getting it, I would probably end up lowering. I know that's a little bit weird, because usually they're set up a little bit too low. But they know that these are going to be played by a heavy-handed player. So setup-wise, it's a perfect setup, just a little bit high for what I would want done, so I would probably lower it. So from factory, it's probably a 4.25 for me.
I haven't played the guitar, so I'm going to go with you on that one.
Build quality, there is nothing I can find wrong with this guitar at all.
They live up to the reputation that they have built, and that's why they're in so much demand. Is they are just almost perfection.
Yeah, I got
So
nothing
definitely a
that I'm
5
going to
there.
complain about. It's a 5. As far as the aesthetics on this is exactly what Ron wanted. Again, how you tell somebody that this doesn't fall 5. If it falls in the marks,
They were able to deliver exactly what he asked for. So in that, it absolutely is a 5. It's exactly what he envisioned, and it turned out beautiful.
Does this pass Shoppe Sustainable? Probably not. It is a Madagascar back and sides. We know that stuff's a little bit tough, so we did already mark
5
this.
trees.
Planted 5 trees in its space. And
But the good news is a lot of the pressure that these builders are hearing is making them reconsider using Madagascar or how they're sourcing it.
Yep.
And the same thing for all these woods. I think the trend is definitely every time we go to NAMM, the conversation is about sustainability, and more big builders, which is then trickling down into the smaller builders, are paying attention to where they're getting the woods and being very selective about trying to find another alternative that can get you that same tone.
Absolutely. Overall value, this was a tough one because I know some of you are going to go, oh, that's just not worth it. Who's spending that kind of money on this? If you are the person who's building a custom guitar like this is worth every single penny that there. And again, I know that's not everybody that's out there. So for that little bit, I'm going to give it a 4.75. Just because I get it that some of you are going to find it there. But again, you're never going to find a custom shop guitar with these attributes for any less
The comparison
than this.
is like if you wanted custom furniture or custom cabinetry in your kitchen, you could obviously go to Lowe's and get some that are pre-built and
That's not
prefab
custom.
and put that in there, and that's an affordable price. You're going to pay at least twice that much to get a custom cabinet builder to come in and build what you want in your kitchen. So value for what is a custom, very small boutique builder up in Sisters, Oregon. I think it is definitely worth every penny that he paid for it. It is customized to his specs, so you're gonna pay extra for that. But I would still give it a 5.
There you go. All right, there you go right there. I think it's a fabulous guitar. What we're going to do right now is give you guys a little bit of a tone sample so you can hear what this very cool custom guitar sounds like.
And we really appreciate you guys watching that video. It was my favorite one we've made so
the
far.
best
We've
video
done hundreds of videos, and that was the best one.
It was.
And the next one's going to be even better. If you'd like to see that, be sure you subscribe to this channel. And also, the more you comment and interact below, the more the YouTube algorithms pick it up and start pushing it out to other people, like-minded people.
Algorithms?
Algorithms, they're everywhere. They permeate the internet, and YouTube's got one, and it watches our videos, and it sees how much you comment, and then it pushes us to other people like you. And we want everyone to experience the Acoustic Shop world, where we talk about instruments, we do reviews, we got some fun videos coming up. We thank you guys so much for being a part of it, and we'll see you in the next video.